If you deliver workshops or facilitate meetings, there are a few different personality types that you need to look out for. There's the bulldozer. No, I disagree with that. I think my opinion is the right opinion and I don't care what yous think. There's the wanderer. I remember when I was a little boy, we used to buy ice cream from the ice cream man.
2 hours later.
And it tasted really good. Sometimes I would have sprinkles and sparkles. And then there's the mute. I have nothing to say. And if someone asks me a question, I will give them one word. These personality types can derail your meeting, make you go over time, or make you feel like not everybody has contributed. Now, my name's Kyle Murter. I've delivered hundreds of workshops. I've had to deal with these personality types multiple times, and I've also found ways to handle them effectively. And I'd like to share those techniques with you today. Just quickly, do subscribe to the channel if you want to improve your presentation skills, because every week I've got helpful videos which will be useful for you. So let's start off with the bulldozer. The guy that says, no, I disagree with that. I think my opinion is the right opinion. Now, the trick here is not to get into a confrontation with this individual, because if you start going tit for tat and then things get elevated, things get heated, who knows what's going to happen? Maybe someone will get punched. And obviously that's not a good thing to happen in the monthly accounting meeting. So what you want to try and do instead is diffuse the situation. And those 3 steps are as follows: address, suggest, redirect. So what does that look like? Well, let's say our mate here was kicking off about trying to get cheese in the office. I think it's a great idea to get cheese in the office. I love cheese. In this situation, I can address this guy, let's call him Mickey, because he likes cheese, by saying, thanks for that point there, Mickey. You know what? I love cheese too. I really do get what you're saying. Now Mickey feels heard. I can then suggest by saying, having cheese in the office might decrease productivity a little bit because we'll all be eating cheese instead of working. And then I can redirect the conversation by saying, Jerry, what do you think about this? And now Jerry will get to speak next instead of Mickey taking over. So that process of address, suggest, and then redirect works incredibly well for moving the conversation on and taking the power away from the bulldozer. Then we've got the wanderer, the guy who's going on and on about his ice cream. What we can do with that individual is we need to almost set up in advance how people are going to share in the meeting or in the workshop. And that means saying something like, so we've got a really tight schedule today, guys. So at points, I might interrupt you and ask us to move forward so that we can all end this meeting on time. And by saying something like that, it gives you an excuse to interrupt the wanderer and move things along without feeling really rude. Another useful technique I like is giving people a time limit for sharing their opinion. So you could say, I want to get your opinion on the cheese board in the office, but you only have 20 seconds to give me your point of view. And this works really well because people will then get to the point fast, within 20 seconds in this case, instead of wanging on forever and ever. Finally, we've got the mute. And the mute is an interesting one because they're staying quiet not necessarily because they have nothing to say, but rather because they don't have the confidence to say it. And so it's your job as the facilitator to bring them out of their shell and give them the confidence to share. And one way you can do that is by calling them by name. I could say, Samantha, what's your opinion on the cheese board? Notice I asked Samantha an open question. It required more than a yes or no answer. And you want to do that too so people expand and they don't just give you one word as a response. Another thing you can do to help the mute is actually to divide the room into small groups of say 2s and get them to have individual discussions and then invite them to come back in as a bigger group and share their opinion. And this works because let's say if Samantha talks to one person and they say to her, you know what, Samantha, you've got a really good idea there. Samantha's then going to have more confidence to share that thought with the wider group. So those are some ways to deal with the bulldozer, the wanderer, and the mute. But I'd love to hear how you deal with them in your presentations and meetings. Type in your answer to the comments below. And if you'd like to learn how to structure your meetings or your presentations more effectively, check out this video I made. I will see you in the next one.